Okay, guys, welcome to our team call for the Wildflower Tribe. It is October 4th, and tonight we have Laura Gallup speaking with us. She's a part of Empowered Elite and her own team, Team Mountain Strong, and she's freaking awesome. Before I say anything else, but I do want to, before we get started and dive into a little bit more about Laura, and then let her take over because I know she's prepared some slides for us. Does anyone have any recognition or anything we want to celebrate? No. Okay. I'll celebrate Becky for signing up her first discount coach and hopefully getting super close to Emerald this week. And I know she's been working hard. But yeah, okay. Well, we'll just go ahead and get started. Laura and I met, I guess, I don't know, we officially met at Summit, but I don't even know if we were really talking that much before Summit. I feel like Summit, we just sort of really had some bonding time at our Success Club party is what I remember first and foremost.
Yeah.
And then a little bit later on, I actually went to go see her at her house in Denver and stayed with her family, which was so great, which I freaking love about this is that we have friends all over that are real friends, not just online friends either. And Laura is so awesome, you guys. Like, she really came into this business. She came out of friggin' nowhere. It seemed like, oh, Laura's here, and then, oh, Laura's a diamond, and she got to diamond in less than 30 days. So she really came in and gave it her all and got really engaged and started interacting with everyone on the team. And I love a lot of things about Laura, but what I really love about Laura is that she's always so encouraging to everyone else. And she has such a good, big heart. And she's always just such a good team player. She's there to answer questions and give her input and bounce ideas off of and lift each other up. And I think there's a lot that we have to learn from Laura. She's a star diamond. She's had 2 diamonds, right? You've had 2 different diamonds, or? Yeah. So she was a star diamond, lost a diamond, has another diamond now, I think, still. And yeah, so I'll let her take her. I was thinking about if you were a Success Club All-Star or not. I didn't know that fact for sure. But you are. Okay. Yeah, so she has lots to share with us, so I'll let her take it away. I could blabber about you forever. You know that.
Well, so with that, I just hope that everyone on your team knows how blessed they are. And of course I'm reading Mastering Your Mean Girls. So it's not that you're blessed, it's that you guys deserve this, but you have deserved and you are deserving of this amazing coach that you have. And I have learned so much from Kelly. She's one of my favorite mentors, and we've worked together a lot, but I feel like she's always 10 steps ahead of me, and just in her thinking and her creativity and all of it. And so I just I hope that you all know what a blessing she is in our lives and how lucky we are to have her on our team and all of that. So anyway, and Kelly kind of really surprised me when she was like, yeah, I think I might stop in Colorado and see you. And I was like, what, really? This is weird. And then it was best friends forever that we're just seeing each other again after a few months or whatever. It was amazing. So know that this experience, if nothing else, will bring you friendships that I think can last a lifetime. So anyway, I was looking through a couple of things to start. The biggest thing that I didn't really even put in my slides, I don't think, I was just whipping them together today, but it's so much easier said than done, but to stop overcomplicating things. When I started the business, I had just finished my first 21 days of 21 Day Fix. I was feeling awesome. And, Dana sent me that message that was like, oh, you're kind of already doing it. Why don't you just coach? And I was like, all right, I guess I will. And I was super anxious about it, to be honest. I don't know who I shared this with, maybe my team, but my sister originally, because I struggle with eating disorders and all of this, I didn't share with anybody that I was doing the 21 Day Fix except for my husband, who I had to fess up to that I'd spent the money on the credit card because I didn't tell him initially. Anyway, I just didn't want people to freak out that I was doing something that might not be healthy or fat or whatever. I didn't really know what I was getting into. And then once my sister, she's like, you said you were doing something for 21 days. Is that the 21 Day Fix? She was interested. And I'm like, oh, I'm just trying it out. I was really brushing it off. And she's like, I think I want to do it. And I'm like, okay. Dana had her sign up under me. And about a week in, my sister was like, you know what, we could do this. Like, we could be like a dream team together. Like, let's do this business thing. And I'm like, okay. You know, that was when I had finished my 21 days. So we kind of like took it by the reins together for literally like maybe a week. And then she was like, no, I'm out. This stresses me out. I'm totally stressed out. It's too much for me. And it like literally gave me such a pit in my stomach. I was like, oh shit. Like, I'm definitely someone who has always needed approval, question what I'm doing. I want everyone to think what I'm doing is right. And like, it felt like she wasn't agreeing with what I'm doing. So I was like really questioning it. And then I was like, you know what? It feels right to me. I'm going to do this. You know, like, I want to do this. Needless to say, a week later, she was like, wait, actually, I do want to do it. And my sister was my first diamond, which was incredible. But, and that's how I also then got to Star Diamond so quickly. But, anyway, don't overcomplicate it. Like, I just kind of flew by the seat of my pants at first. I felt really good, and I shared that. And that is like, I truly think that's the biggest thing about getting to Diamond. If you're not sharing like what you feel, your innermost feelings about things, and being really raw and authentic, you're not going to attract people. Like, being really scary and doing that shit that makes your like arms stand on edge or whatever they do, stand up. I remember one of the posts I wrote, and I can't remember what it was, but I mean, when it was, maybe a month or two in, but I got a memory from Facebook, you know, a month ago or something, saying it had been a year from this post. And it was a picture of chocolate bars. And I had written this whole long post about how when there are chocolate bars in my house, I will go into the kitchen and I will hide, not literally, but like, and eat them. Like, I'll eat like 3 bars really quickly and then like hide the wrappers underneath the garbage, because I didn't really want my husband to know about that habit. It's kind of nasty. And like, you know, I suffered from eating disorders, anorexia, and then bulimia, and I was never really much of a binger. But then, since having tried to be healthy, I was finding myself binging. Anyway, I shared this, and I thought I was going to vomit the entire drive to work because it was so scary. But like, I know that it touched people, and people reached out to me after, because people can relate to the really scary shit. Like, you're not the only person that ever felt that way or ever did those things. And attracting people that can relate to you is part of getting to Diamond. So, you know, Diamond's this big thing that we hold on a pedestal. It's really not that big a deal. It's like signing, you know, getting 12 people started on a health and fitness journey, essentially. Not a big deal. So anyway, I'm going to share with you my little slideshow so I can like kind of be organized with my thoughts, because I'm not typically very organized. But the biggest thing that I have to say before sharing that is like, be authentic, share your journey, and don't overcomplicate it, and don't act like it's this big crazy thing, because it's really not. Like, I've, you know, lost it and regained it in a week, you know, like and I don't recommend losing it. I'm just saying that's what I've done. And wait, I just lost my Zoom chat. Okay. All right. I'm going to try to share my screen and play this little thing. Show. Okay. Diamond in under 30 days. So I also got this little, hopefully you guys can hear me or see me, because I can't see you now, which is really strange, but can someone come off mute and make sure you can hear me?
You're good. I hate it. You're good.
I'm like, that's so weird. So this was when Dana posted, and I've been saying like 28 days. That's what I've said for the whole last year, but apparently I got to Diamond in 24 days. And like, you guys, I really didn't even know what I was doing. Like, I was just helping people. That's all I was focused on. I didn't know Diamond was a big deal or not a big deal. I don't know if you guys really care about me. You probably know mostly about me if you follow me, but I'm a mom and I work also. I used to work about 30 hours a week. I'm down to 24. And I'll probably do that for at least another year, and then hopefully just be full-time coaching after that. But I also am an avid outdoors person. So one of my I'm just going to list a bunch of things in the slideshow to tell you like what I think my recommendations are. And one of them is to pick a program and do it start to finish. I think this is like really, really important. Kelly and I were talking about, we were both struggling like a lot in the beginning of September, and we had a lot of stuff going on in August. I had a lot of personal issues. I wasn't following a program. God, I like really hate this. Is there any way that I can see people or no?
No, it's so weird. You could just.
Okay, so I'm like talking to the computer. It's really strange.
I know.
It makes me not want to show this, but okay. Anyway, I really don't think that you can inspire others to change if you're not showing them that you're doing it yourself. And like, it is shown for me in my business in general when I haven't shown up, like when I am not really committed to a program. The first 90 days of my journey, I worked out 89 of those 90 days. So I like showed up every freaking day. I, pretty much never did the like wine or anything. Like I was really committed, and it that's part of what like propelled me really quickly forward. And I'm not saying you can't have wine or anything like I think that's lame, and I want to have wine when I want to have wine. But I think you've got to show up and you've got to show changes. And if you didn't, I went to take some before and afters for 1 week today, and like I see nothing in my body that's changed in a week of doing a program. So I showed somebody else in my team, like you've got to do a transformation Tuesday every Tuesday. And whether it's, you or your husband or your boyfriend or your sister or whoever, you can, the girls that I showed today, she's not ready to share the pictures. So I cut her head off, and like, sounds terrible. I cropped her head off, and, people want to see that stuff, but make sure that it speaks to you. Like, don't just post a sweaty selfie every day and say, I'm doing it a little bit right now, but accountability day, whatever. Like, share something with the accountability picture that speaks to you and why this is important to you and what it's doing for you. Like, this business is about sharing. And if you're not willing to do it, you're not going to touch people. I mean, it's just like how it works, So same idea, share your story. And so coming back to, everybody needs to have like a really strong why. Why are you doing this? Are you doing this because you need to pay off your college loans? Like, it can be a money reason. It doesn't have to be, it could, that comes down to freedom. If you need freedom from your financial, obligations or whatever. Or if you, like me, I suffered from, body image distortion and anorexia and bulimia, and just never thinking I was good enough from a really young age. And a lot of this has helped me, and share with that, like being part of a team who supports me. And I can, I texted Kelly this morning and I was like, I feel like crap. I'm heavier than I want to be, or whatever the issue may be. Share that. You have a team that you can share with, that you have, especially for the business opportunity. A big part of this for me is like feeling like I have this community of people that care about me. And then in turn, when you start getting challengers, make sure that they know that you care about them. You want them to feel important to you. And then just always know that your story is different than anyone else. Just because maybe you had anorexia and I did too, that doesn't mean our stories are the same. It means, they can be completely different stories. And then also sharing why this works for you and other things maybe didn't, or what this has done for you that other things in your life haven't. I think this is a big one, and this was huge for me in the very early part of my business. I still struggle with it occasionally, but stop worrying about what everybody's going to think of you, because you're going to touch more people with your inspiration than you are going to offend people or turn them off. Like, there are people that have stopped following me for sure, but I have received zero negative like messaging. I've had maybe one negative comment once, but zero negative messages to me when I've received, how many 30 positive random people that have reached out and said, I just want you to know you're really inspiring. I look forward to seeing you in my newsfeed, whatever it may be. Like, whether they're my customers or not, if I'm helping somebody feel inspired and maybe change their life, like, that is what matters to me. So, let's see, what did I write here? you've got to, Kelly and I were talking about this morning too, like just self-imposed barriers. Like, I can't do this. I could never share that on social media. I could never be that raw. I could never be that open. I could never, show before and after pictures with just a sports bra. I've never been without clothes on Facebook. I could never be that vulnerable. All of those are things I'm putting on myself, and we just have to stop it, because if we want to help people, and primarily we're helping people through social media in this business, we need to let go of our barriers. We're setting those and putting those on ourselves. They're not, no one else is telling us that. It's us, society might be, but we have learned that negative self-talk, but we need to take some of our strength that we've gained through the process and know that we're going to positively affect people by being vulnerable. And then personal development, obviously, I'm like, okay. I know that we harp on it, but it is so important. And I've talked about this in a few other team calls before, but if you're struggling through a book that is just not doing it for you, get a different book. It's not for you then. It's not speaking to you that time. Dana recommended a book for me once, and I was dying reading it at night. I was getting through 7 words, and then I'd want to close it and go to bed. Well, that's not the book for me right now. Then I need to be reading personal development that's speaking to me at this moment in my life. And, mastering my mean girl is speaking to me because I have mean girl thoughts that have come up with my, difficult times in my life in the last 2 months. Those mean girl thoughts have come back a little bit, and they get a little bit stronger, and they, say more negative things to me. So that's something I needed to work on. It's something that's speaking to me. And then with the stuff that you're learning through the personal development, you can share that on social media. You can quote your book or quote your audio, and share it, and it will help you articulate some of what you're feeling, because I think sometimes we get kind of stuck, writer's block, we don't know how to share our story. And you want to be sharing vulnerability every day. You want to be sharing the transformation in yourself every day, I think. And I just put this in there because I made it the other day. I don't know who the quote is, but don't worry about failures, worry about the chances you miss when you don't even try. So I put posts out all the time on social media, and they get 1 like. It doesn't mean that nobody's looking at it. It just means nobody felt compelled to write, or nobody dared to write, or whatever it may be. It doesn't mean I failed, but even if it was a total failure and I look like a jackass, well, I tried, and I'd rather be trying and failing than not doing it at all, because I'm definitely not going to go anywhere in this business if I'm not trying. So know that that's okay too. We're all learning here. This is one thing that I think I learned about it in a training or something, but I think you guys, if you haven't already done this, you need to sit down and make your dream team list. So I did this really early on in my business, and I'm still chipping away at it. I'm still reaching out to some of these people 3, 4, 5 times even. But, I just had one of my dream team people sign up for her first challenge this past month. She just started yesterday. So this is someone who I think would not only benefit from the programs, but I think she's a lot like me. She's a nurse. She has an amazing heart. I think she's going to love the way she feels, and I think she's going to want to share it with others. So she was on my dream team, and I have a list in the front of my binder of my dream team, and I try to reach out to them. My sister was on my dream team, obviously, and my sister ended up, gaining so much self-confidence from this experience that she dared to apply to midwifery school. And so now she's fully engrossed in midwifery school. So she fell off, and I had to rebuild a diamond to get back to Star Diamond. But I reached out to these people. Kelly was someone that I reached out to. She's another nurse. I danced for, 15 years with her growing up or whatever. But make that list. Go through your Facebook and think of people. They can already be your challengers, or they can never have reached out to you, but make a dream team list. It's a real thing, and you got to keep it in the front of your binder, and you got to keep it on your mind. The network adding, this may seem obvious, but I wasn't great about it in the beginning. It's my getting to Diamond. I exclusively used my warm network, really, meaning people I already knew, and most of whom I spoke to on a regular basis. But make sure, as a busy mom, as a busy nurse when I'm at work, I can't tell you the number of people I've added to my network while going to the bathroom. Like I get a 5-minute bathroom break. I add 3 people each break, something like that. And then try to find different ways to add people, not just the Facebook tool, because I think that is, I definitely add people that way. But as Kelly and I were talking about earlier as well, like a lot of those people, if they don't see a reason to accept you, they might think that you're, scamming, or that you are trying to sell them something, and you don't want to do that. So being active in different groups, finding, if you're super into knitting, join a knitting group and be active in the group. You have to participate in order for them to see you. So then when you friend request them, they don't think that you're being like weird, that they see that you just want to have them in your network. Okay. So I feel like I'm like flying, I'm sorry, but action steps for busy working coaches. Share what you're doing every single day. So there are a few days here and there where I share next to nothing on Facebook, and those might be really busy work days. And if I didn't, I use Hootsuite versus Postcron, but they're the same thing basically. If I didn't do something beforehand, then I might be too busy to post something. And that's okay, because I feel like that shows that you can also work and be a coach. Like there are days I can't post. But like I said earlier, don't just share like a boring workout selfie. Like people do probably get sick of just seeing workout selfies. But if I talk about my inspiration or talk about something I learned in my personal development work with my workout selfie and what it's doing for me to, people are constantly amazed that I'll work out at 3:30 in the morning, and literally it's 1 to 2 days a week max. So it's not that big of a deal, but people think it's amazing and inspires people. If I share something inspiring with it, people read it, people comment. And then I said, share what you're afraid of, share what you're proud of, everything in between. Be honest, be open, and be transparent.
I think you came unmuted somehow. It's just like some background noise. Sorry. Okay.
It's okay. And so I just talked about this, but you'd have to add to your network daily. It's like a vital behavior, obviously. But I try to friend request 10 people per day. Know that you can be put in Facebook jail if you have too many requests out there. So I don't know how I haven't been yet, to be honest, but go and check this occasionally and delete old requests. And that's what I wrote. I don't know who can't see the slides, but if you finding time to add friends is hard, it's literally the easiest thing to do. Aim for 2 to 3 people during your bathroom breaks. Number 3 is make your dream team list. Aim to reach out to 2 of them a week until you've spoken to all of them. Share with them your why and why you want them on your team and how you think they could benefit from it. And then follow up with them, because so most of my dream team has said, maybe someday, not right now, or whatever. So I follow up with them, every few months. If you have a husband or a boyfriend or a fiance or a parent, sign them up on your week leg so that you can work their account as well and add to your week leg volume and create an emerald. That was one of the ways that I got to diamond quickly, is I signed my sister up. She was on my strong leg, and she quickly got to emerald. And then, I got the rest of my people in my downline, and then I built my husband to emerald. So that's how easy it was. I mean, I signed my sister up, and then I signed 3 other people up on my left leg. I signed 4 people up on my right leg, including my husband, and then 2 more people under him, and I was a diamond. So it is as easy as it sounds. And I know that it's frustrating when you can't find people that want to work, or people who, aren't going to sign people up, but you will find people, and you got to keep putting it out there and keep putting out into the universe what you want. So if you want to build a business, put that out there in the universe. Talk about your business, talk about what it's doing for you. It's not like I'm rolling in millions yet, but I'm talking about, and I don't do it enough either, but I'm talking about my business, and I'm talking about it in the way that it benefits me right now. Number 5 is personal development. Find a book or 5 and audio that speak to you. I like to have, a book and an audio pretty much at all times, because I do a book before bed, and then I do audio in the car. And I try to, one thing on one of the national wake up calls a couple weeks ago, she was saying that she takes notes even with her audio. So, and I haven't done that yet because I primarily listen to audio in the car, but it's a good idea to sit down with your audio and take notes, because I get so inspired by some of it and then I forget it later. So And then I didn't mention the power hour. It's obviously one of our vital behaviors, and it's obvious, but I didn't do it for a long time. It's not a joke. Like, you've got to do it. I didn't do it once. Maybe I did it once in August, and I was at SC0 until like the 22nd of September. And then I busted my butt and I started doing power hours every day, and I was at SC10 by the end of the month. So it is important to do it. It makes a difference. And typically the month that you put in work it's going to pay off the next month. So a lot of the people that I was reaching out to at the end of September are still messaging me now. And I know that I have people that are going to sign up this month, but it was kind of a little bit of a wake-up call to me at the end of September, because I had never had such a hard month before, but it was because I didn't do any power hours. I reached out to nobody that was new, nobody out of my network. I did very few follow-ups, all of that. And sometimes you have to do that. You have to take a step back, and that's okay, but know that it's going to affect your business, at least initially. I mean, I think power hours are always going to be important, but these businesses don't run on their own. So, and then my numbers, I think I have a lot. Share. That's obvious. I just can't stress it enough. Number 8 is stop being afraid. It's just so silly. Like, don't give a shit what people think about you. Like, you are your own strong, amazing person, and you're good enough, and your story is good enough. And if people don't appreciate it, then that's fine. And they can defriend you or unfollow you or whatever. And then my last thing, number 9, was believe in yourself and know that you can get to diamond. It's not unreachable. It's really not hard. Like, we way overthink diamond. I was so new that I barely thought about it, which was awesome because I didn't have time to stress about it. You need to help 10 people, and one of those people you need to help 2 more, 12 lives. And within that 10, one of them needs to be, someone that you could get to emerald yourself. But that's that. That's kind of, I think that's the end of my spiel. Let me see. Yeah, so let's see. I don't know. Let me stop sharing. That was the end of my little slides. But making friends, I think, is huge too, just as you move forward in the business. Like, there are times where Kelly, it looks like you're smoking. Do you have incense going?
I'm totally smoking. Just kidding. No incense.
And smoke the cigs because they're awesome.
Goes with the wine, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if that was helpful or not. I feel like a lot of this is like redundant because we all essentially do the same thing. It just is like, I really think that we overcomplicate it, and you can achieve these things really easily. Like, not to say that it's not an amazing thing to accomplish, because it is, but I don't think that it should be this like, diamond is just the beginning of your business. Like, I got to diamond, I got to start a diamond, backed down to diamond, had to rebuild a diamond. She's actually, Kelly, not a diamond right now. So I'm just a diamond right now, and we're helping rebuild her. I'm trying to get my other, potential to a diamond, trying to work my husband to diamond. Like, it's just that you just have to keep building. Like, you have to keep faith that like you're going to have, lulls and peaks, and that's the way it works.
Yeah, no, I love this. I think there is tons of good stuff. I took a bunch of notes. I'm happy thank you so much for sharing and putting together those slides. I thought they were so awesome and very, like, extremely helpful. I honestly am really impressed by how well you summarized the things that are important, because I feel like sometimes, we do all of these big trainings and it's this and that and diamond push, and it's like, it seems like so much stuff, but I think, you really did a great job of taking it down to at the very root, like what it is and how simple it is. And I loved how you said, like, you got started and you were in your warm market and all you wanted to do was help people, and you didn't even really know what you were doing, because I think that's freaking awesome. I think, like, that we could all, like, wish for that, but it's just, it shows that your heart was just truly in the right place from the get-go, which I love. But yeah, does anyone have any questions? I mean, I could definitely speak to some of my takeaways, but I'll let you guys ask if you have any questions first. No. Okay. I think that a big part of what we what we as a team can do is really, I mean, it's something actually tonight, what I contemplate speaking on was vulnerability and the power of being vulnerable before I asked Laura to talk on this call. And so the first part that you talked about, Laura, just like really struck me, because I think that's something that we don't talk about enough. And I was talking to Becky this morning for a little while, and we were talking about that piece of it. And it's so important to be able to help people see, you know, especially now, you know, like when like Get Real, there are a lot of people out there that are just trying to sell something and they don't have their heart in the right place. And, you know, you can't relate to them. They just post a picture of some makeup or whatever it is. Like, you know, like we really, you know, our hearts are in the right place, and we want people to think and understand that we're like them and we have a story and they can come to us and we're a safe place. And it's one thing, like, I think there's a difference between a product that maybe you're selling and like, whatever, if you're selling a product, that's totally cool. That's your thing. But our thing is to like really dive into the person and help them make a whole change. And that means that they have to be comfortable with us. And the only way they're going to be comfortable with us is if they've seen our vulnerability too. And, you know, when we're making all these new friends and we're trying to put the pieces together and trying to build the new connections and relationships, that's freaking hard unless you're just bearing your soul out there already and they already know that they can come to you and they can trust in you because you've put yourself out there to that vulnerable place for them. But I don't know. I thought that was so great, and just sharing the story. And, you know, it's funny, Laura, like I remember you sharing that story about the chocolate, and I know a lot more of your story, but, you know, you can never, I think about this all the time too. We circle back and we're like, oh, did we share that too much? Did we already go there? But our stories are the most powerful things that we have. And only 8% of people are ever seeing our post. And when we're writing, we're always writing in a different way or a different tone with a different thing in our mind, as long as we're doing the personal development with a different picture. And it speaks to just the right person. You know, that goal is always to get someone that comes to you and says, thank you, me too, I have so much in common with you, you really inspired me. And alongside, you know, what Laura was saying about not caring what people think and going for those people that we can help, it's our goal to make an impact, a bigger, bolder impact. You know, some people we're going to speak to, some people we're going to turn away, and that's okay. The goal is to attract our tribe and to really speak to those people that we can truly help. So I love all of what you shared. I know we're going to lose our little meeting here, but thank you so much for hopping on. It was perfect. Thank you. I'll see you guys later.
Bye, guys.
Good night.